curious why the knowledge about leasing is important for students.
I think it's important because students have the right to know their rights, and sometimes with classwork and schoolwork and work in general, sometimes you don't have the opportunity to research the rights as often as you can. So if you can get a little bit of a synopsis as to where you can look for your rights, it's kind of helpful in a service we can provide to the university.
How can school help students in this field?
In this field, or
Yeah, I mean leasing a house.
well, we don't have like a legal service for students. We're not a big enough campus for that. But I think by presentations, we can give the information and allow students to do that and kind of do that and see where they can go.
Yeah. And what students need to know before leasing a house?
I think kind of the information, I saw you taking some pictures on the slideshow.
Yeah.
So I would think what the lease actually entails, the city ordinances, state laws, and federal laws that are applicable.
Yep. And do you think students read the contract carefully before they sign that?
No,
No.
I know that because I didn't do it from experience, and I still sometimes don't. So, but I encourage each person to go through each lease provision and even initial after each paragraph to make sure that they understood it, and like we said in the presentation, to really take the time and ask questions if you don't understand it, because once you sign it, because you're over the age of 18 and you can make legal and binding agreements without your parents or without another third party, you're bound to that. So if you don't follow it, then you can be held responsible for the rent, and then you could even be evicted. So.
Mm-hmm. Do you think what is the most popular problem when they lease a house?
Probably the most popular problem, I would guess, is not keeping it up in the way that it's meant to. So, so as a result, they probably don't get their security deposit back. So making sure that you clean up messes and vacuum and keep the place in good working order. You know, clean the tub and things of that nature. Also noise ordinances. And that's a little bit more for the city. So, you know, your volume has to be below a certain thing, or else people can be fined. And if that happens continuously, then the landlord could kick you out. And so, but I think probably lack of security deposit getting back because of upkeep, not into the normal wear and tear.
So how can they not get burned?
How can they not get burned?
From doing something wrong?
Yeah, I think that goes back to understanding what's required of you under the lease, kind of how we talked about the responsibilities before we talk about the rights, and then just kind of following those. So if there's, for example, a provision that says you have to take your trash out every week and you don't, you know, that's a really thing that you can fix pretty quickly. So making sure you just understand what you have to do with it, actually doing it.
Do you think they're more difficult for international students rather than American students when they lease a house?
Yeah, I think it is for sure. But the thing that's really good is that the advisors in the CSI, or CIS, I'm sorry, they're really good at helping students because they understand that if I were to go to another country, I don't understand all the laws that are there. So if I tried to sign a legal document, I might not understand what I'm obliged to myself to. So, you know, I would find my resource there and see if they could help me. And so the same way that the CIS can help students, I'd really encourage international students to speak with them and kind of understand and even take them with them when they go sign lease agreements.
So if they have problem, I mean, if they break the law or something like that, where and who student can come for help?
If the student breaks the law, or
do something wrong, where and who they can come?
they would go to the CIS as well, or they could go to the Vice President for Student Affairs and Dean of Students, Luann Gilchrist. She can kind of help provide some resources for students that they may not know is available to them. But, you know, the police and things of that nature, but when it talks about lease provisions, the Dean of Students or the CIS will probably be the first two places that I would recommend international students to go to.
Mm.